Jesus says that his burden is light and his yoke is easy, but why does it feel so heavy? I read Matthew 11 verses 28 and 30, and I understand it, I know the truth of it, but why, when I'm living it out, it doesn't feel like that? To give a little bit of a baseline to contextualize where I'm at, I'm a recent college grad, I'm working full-time, I'm serving at a church, I'm a member of a church, reading my Bible consistently, praying often, and trying to resist temptation and sin. And I think the issue and the struggle with that is that it's a list of do's. It's focused on what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, rather than how am I resting in Jesus and resting in his presence. When I look at the goal of perfection, I fall into the trap of saying, okay, I need to reach that point now. I need to be there now, but I know that ultimately I won't be able to get there until I reach heaven. Why am I thinking I can be perfect and reach perfection in this lifetime? My pride gets in the way, thinking that I can work my way to perfection, even though I know the truth. I know the reality and I have the head knowledge, but it's that application that I need to focus on. I was sitting in church recently and I thought to myself, why, if Jesus says his burden is light, who's putting this heavy burden on me? Because it's obviously not Jesus. It's like I've taken the yoke of Jesus and his burden, and I've also said, okay, wait, let me take this one and this one and this burden and this one, also this one. Oh, I need that one too. And my arms are full, but I'm only supposed to be carrying one burden, and that's the yoke of Jesus. I don't know. I know I have to do more resting in him and just delighting in him. But week after week, as I go through the motions, it's all about doing. I can start my mornings resting with Jesus, being in the Word, being in prayer and solitude. Yet as soon as I finish and I'm like, all right, time to get ready for work, time to go to work, time to be at work, time to do my work, it's like my mindset changes to that performance mode. But literally, I read this verse and it sounds so beautiful the way Jesus says it, and it sounds so relieving. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Like, listen to that. Rest. Gentle and lowly in heart. Yoke is easy, burden is light. All that I'm doing is not that. And then I wonder why I stress out often, or I get anxious often, and I worry often. In a world full of instant gratification, my mind goes straight to, all right, I want to be at the destination already. I want to reach that perfection. And so maybe if I do more, I'll get there. But I know, like I said earlier, that's just not how that works. I'm just so grateful for God's graciousness and his patience as I learn what it looks like to truly look more like Jesus over time. There's a beauty in learning over time rather than getting it all dumped on at once. But there's that tension of, I want to be here, but I know this is where I'm at right now. And so eventually, over time, I'll get there, but at this moment, this is how I can move forward and take that next step. I have one of the study Bibles, it's the ESV study Bible, and even in the notes here, under the word yoke, it says, Jesus' yoke of discipleship, on the other hand, brings rest through simple commitment to him. It's a simple commitment where I choose him in every moment of every day, and I can just delight in knowing that I have that personal relationship with him, and at the end of the day, that's what matters. Whether I share the gospel today or not, that's okay. Or serve somebody in a special way today, it's okay, because I know I'm committed to Jesus and I know that he'll work through me over time, over the course of my life, however long that is. In a way, it's like swimming upstream. Our culture just wants us to go, go, go and do so much. Everything is graded or everything is analyzed and assessed. Yet Jesus says, rest in me. Take my burden, my yoke is easy, just be committed to me. And through that commitment, I will do the things in you that I want to do through you. Obviously, I don't want to speak objectively and say, this is what God says, or this is what God's telling me. But I almost feel like, I'm like, all right, God, I'm in the game, like, let's do it. What do we want to do? What's the plan? What's the next move? And I feel like the Holy Spirit's leading me back and drawing me back to this and saying, just rest in me. Find rest in me. Slow down because you're just so hurried and fast-paced right now. Could be totally off the mark, but I feel like in this season that I'm in, like that's what the Holy Spirit and the Lord may be saying to me. What's that quote that says, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey? Who is it? Let me look it up. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Is that true? I feel like it's Dom Toretto, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But in a way, I feel like that's how it is right now, where sometimes I'm like, man, I can't wait till that destination of heaven. But at the same time, I'm called and I have a mission here on this earth. And part of that is growing in intimacy with the Lord through being still and in his presence rather than, well, not rather, but not solely just, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta not do that. I'm praying that the Lord would continue to humble me and give me this childlike dependence on him so that I don't fall into that look like the Pharisees, so that I'm not at a place of, wow, look at all that I'm doing, what are you doing? Because at the end of the day, we all fall short of the glory of God. And I personally need to remind myself of that. And my challenge to you is to find ways to just rest in the Lord. Whether that's, for me, I know, praying that the Lord would, one, humble me of my pride, and two, shape my mindset of what it looks like to rest in him and to practice that. What are you currently processing in your walk with the Lord? Because I'd love to hear. On the screen now is a video that I would love for you to watch next. So click on that video and join me over there.